All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to get right on into another Glaive Keo video. Who knows? Maybe this guy is actually the real #1 Kurobot right now because he's been absolutely popping off with the content lately. And this video is going to be about Wuthering Waves is going mainstream, and in frame 1, we've got none other than Asmongold. And so I'm excited to see what the take is over here about what's been going on with this game because, well, we've got a clip over here on the side of Asmon basically just gooning himself over the Wuthering Waves 2.4 trailer, actually comparing it to Zenless Zone Zero. And so we might take a look at that one in the middle of the react. So let's go ahead. Let's get right on into this one.
Now, to address those allegations, they're absolutely true. I have been playing it off stream.
At least it's not like Tyler 1 back in the day, where Tyler 1 was looking up like Vayne from League of Legends. He was looking up Vayne builds, and the first thing in his search bar was like Vayne naked. Yeah, that was him back in the day. So at least Shorekeeper build is a lot more acceptable than that whole T1 situation back in the day.
This is accurate. I have been caught. And I'm not even caught. I even said that I was doing it. But, there it is. Don't you talk about playing it like every stream? Not all the time, but like every once in a while. Well, I could have expected that. Yeah, it's like, it's the best support character in the game. How do I live knowing I am playing the same game as that thing, that he has Shorekeeper while I don't? How do I live? If I told you the answer to that, I would get suspended.
What was his answer? You don't? Like...
is a strange kind of poetry to how things go viral now. Sometimes it is a meticulously crafted ad campaign with millions in the budget behind it. Sometimes it is a random meme that breaks containment on Twitter, and sometimes it is just a bald guy watching a trailer on YouTube.
Wuthering Waves, full trailer and gameplay review. When did this come out? May 27th, and I haven't seen this? How's that possible?
We live in a timeline where...
Did Tectone have a lisp back in the day? Bro sounded like he had one of the fattest lisps in gacha gaming. How this possible?
gacha games' rise into mainstream relevance didn't start with investors or executives. It started with a streamer reacting to a trailer, and the kicker? That worked better than anything money could have bought. It is almost funny. Studios spend years fine-tuning their marketing pipelines, building brand awareness through multi-channel campaigns, and here comes Tectone, just doing what he always does, and accidentally jumpstarts Wuthering Waves' entire Western breakout. Completely unsponsored, completely off the cuff. That one spark turned into a cascade. People clicked, people shared, and from there, the game started walking on its own legs. And it didn't just stop, it evolved. Because this wasn't just a one-and-done hype cycle, Wuthering Waves kept showing up. It kept improving. The 2.0 update landed, and suddenly the game wasn't just interesting, it was polished.
And I think a good part of it was 2.0 ended up bringing in so many new characters and so many new players at the same time. And one of the best things that I feel like these devs have ever cooked up is releasing a character like Carlotta, who is without a doubt the easiest fucking unit to use in the game with the release of version 2.0. Like, everyone knows in a gacha game, you just like pull on the limited banner with your limited pulls when you log in. You got a lot of limited pulls in 2.0, and then you would just pull Carlotta and then just proceed to go ahead and just cakewalk the entire fucking game. Absolutely no challenge at all in any of the game modes, and the end result is that I think a lot of people stayed. People like to believe, or people like to dispute me on this idea. And one of the big ideas that I've had about this game is that version 1.1 and the release of characters like Chang Li actually did a decent amount of damage to the game. Because, brother man, I'm gonna be real with you. She was not a unit that anybody could really play properly when she was released. She didn't even have any good teammates. And I feel like a lot of people pulled shit like S2 Chang Li, R1 Chang Li, and they were just like, fuck, I can't clear any of the content. And maybe if you like spent money, if you did like all this stuff, well, that just didn't work out. That was not like a good thing for players to experience. And Carlotta is like the complete polar opposite of that.
Traversal felt amazing. The world made sense. And for once, a gacha developer actually responded to feedback with real changes. And then you had the influencer wave. And not just the usual gacha crowd, we got Nicholas Light.
Come on, dance like there's nothing left. Entertain me.
playing fucking Star Wars music with this evil laugh. I'm salivating. Oh my god.
He loves this game. Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of Nicholas Light's stream, and it's fair to say that Wuthering Waves ruined Zenless Zone Zero for him. Yeah, he loves this game so much, I think he was just looking... He was supposed to do like a gacha game gauntlet, where he goes around, he plays Wuwa, then he plays ZZZ, then he plays HSR, then he plays Genshin, and his ZZZ part of the gauntlet lasted like 2 or 3 hours, because he just wanted to go back and play Wuthering Waves. That and the ZZZ Elitist apparently ruined the game for him as well. That was a big complaint too. Was that he had a bunch of people from like the Z... He said the ZZZ Elitist killed it? Wait, do you have the direct quote of him saying the Elitist killed it? All I heard was him saying he didn't really vibe with the game and it's like tutorial. He didn't really vibe with the game in like the first hour. He has a tweet saying the Elitist killed him. Hey, link the tweet. His Twitter, link it. I have a clip of you reacting to it.
Over again, and then other people were like, oh, just get your dad to show you. Oh, just watch a video. Oh, look at this person. Like, I don't like it. I've always...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember reacting to this one. I was talking about the tweet. And we got the tweet too. Where is it? Getting shit for playing ZZZ today. It's a video game. I just want to play the game and try different games. Stop the cornball shit. I think this is about people yelling at him for playing ZZZ. Not necessarily like the backseating, but I guess we did get the perfect clip of him complaining about the backseating. So, yeah, and apparently he said it on call with Tectone today. We've got him complaining about the backseating over here. Okay, and he said it on call with Tectone today. I mean, it would just be him saying this shit again, right? There's another tweet. Try playing more ZZZ and couldn't get into it. Probably not going to do more streams on it unless there's more character trailers y'all want me to watch, but I'll stick with Woo-Wah for now. Yeah. I guess that's just verification. And let's be honest here, right? ZZZ has made a lot of streamers quit the game. The ZZZ community, not maybe the game itself, but the community for the game on Twitch has made a lot of people quit it. 1,000,000%. I have been calling out... I've been right. Actually, I've been right about everything when it comes to ZZZ, when it comes to its community, when it comes to the progression of its power creep and then endgame difficulty. Was I wrong about anything I've been saying for months? Was I wrong about anything I was saying about that game for fucking months? Absolute. I was spot on. I'm like the fucking Oracle of Delphi when it comes to that fucking game, bro.
Mudahar, Asmongold, people who normally wouldn't touch this genre were downloading it unprompted. No sponsorships, no strings, just curiosity. And that doesn't happen unless something is genuinely cutting through the noise. And eventually, the industry took the hint. Steam reviews went up, Jeff Keley gave it a showcase, it got...
Jeff Keley, is like the fucking Woo-Wah ambassador, brother. Jeff Keley has leaked, so much shit about the game. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be, the primary leaker moving forward. Fuck Step Leaker. Fuck all those other dudes. It's Jeff Keley. He's the real uncle in the space.
Nominated at the Game Awards. Slowly but surely, the conversation stopped being, is this the next Genshin killer? And started sounding like this is the Genshin killer, which...
Would you admit that ZZZ is your second favorite gacha? Yeah, probably. That's why I hate what they're doing to the fucking game. That's why I hate it so much. That's why I hate how bad the community is. That's why I hate how bad the power creep and the shilling has gotten. It's because I actually like the game.
Brings us to now, Summer Game Fest 2025.
And guess what? Anyone that's not speaking out about the state of ZZZ and the state of its dog shit community, they're just in it for the bag, bro. Genuinely. They're just in it because they're trying to make a career off the game, not because they're trying to make it better. They're just trying to extract as much value as they can, ignore and downplay all the fucking problems. The CC space for that game is so cooked, it's crazy. Now that I think about it, I think Jay Stern, fucking Jay Stern 25, the only partnered ZZZ CC that's even talked about this shit. I think it's just, I think it's just Jay Stern. I don't think it's anybody else. Straight up. Nobody else.
Kuro Games is officially listed alongside PlayStation, Xbox, and Capcom. That is not just a spotlight, that is recognition. It is a signal that this isn't just a fluke, it is a developer with staying power. So how did we get here? And more importantly, what happens next? Let's dive into it. For a game that is supposed to be made by a studio with zero marketing sense, Wuthering Waves has done surprisingly well at getting noticed. But not because of Kuro Games' efforts, at least not at first. The turning point wasn't a paid ad campaign or some massive cross-media push, it was a YouTube reaction. A single unsponsored reaction video from Tectone. And that moment, Tectone watching the trailer might
Wait, are you saying that literally just Techie's react is what changed everything? I don't know about that one. Maybe.
have been the first real pulse the game had outside of niche circles, and the timing couldn't have been better. The trailer looked good, and it left an impression. There was enough in that trailer to raise eyebrows, and once someone like Tectone gives it a nod of approval, it doesn't just stay in the gacha lane anymore, it gets out. The word gets spread around. This is the kind of butterfly effect that is all.
The game kind of looks like shit though, not gonna lie. Compared to what it looked like at release, it kind of looks like shit here. I'm gonna be real with you.
Almost impossible to engineer. One trailer, one creator, and suddenly, the game that nobody was talking about is now sitting in front of hundreds of thousands of eyes. And from there, the momentum just kept building. But that was just the spark. Let's talk about the chain reaction that came after.
I feel like my take on the whole popularity of WoWA prior to its release is kind of just predicated off the fact that anybody who pushes out a product that looks like it's going to compete with Genshin Impact got a lot of natural sort of PR, because the state of Genshin Impact was so fucking bad, especially in like latter parts of Sumeru, and of course right across all of Natlan and like the later parts of Fontaine, that everybody was just looking for an alternative because they feel like they were getting spat on by the devs. Basically all of like 80%, 70% of Sumeru, after they added their 17th desert region, you were just like, I want something else to play, bro. And Tower Fantasy was not it, but guess what? Tower Fantasy had a lot of players on release. It had a lot of popularity on release. It just didn't live up to any expectations because it was kind of just a bad game.
The trailer was the spark. The 2.0 update was the part where the fire actually caught. Before Rina Sita dropped, Wuthering Waves was already doing a lot of things right, especially in terms of world design and movement, but there was always this feeling of almost. Like the bones were there, but the rest needed time to catch up. 2.0 is when it all started to come together. The flight system in particular was a standout, just effortlessly clean. You could feel how much care went into smoothing out traversal, making it feel more than just a mechanic. It is one of those subtle changes that quietly changes the entire pacing of the game. The character designs actually memorable now. There is a sense of cohesion and theme instead of just cool anime guy with a dull blade. It feels like
Okay, slow down, Glaive. We're not, wait, what, why are we going ahead and just saying that like every character before 2.0 was like lame or something? There are still plenty of great character designs, plenty of great aesthetics prior to 2.0's actual stuff, okay? Let's not get too revisionist over here, bucko.
they finally figured out who they want this world to belong to. And on the technical side, the performance leap is hard to ignore. Optimization that actually worked, not just as a bullet point in patch notes, but in how the game felt session to session. You log in, and you can tell this plays better. But what
You wanna know what sort of skin they need to add to the game? They need to add a Gion skin that's just this. Y'all know this skin for Yasuo in League of Legends? Just give him something like this, bro. Just give him like the full robe. It's already like 90% his design. Just give him something like this, bro. Like, give him like get rid of like all the fucking like tech part of his design and just give him like a full like sort of like robe thing going on. That's the new character coming out. Yeah, well they should both, I mean, if Gion's design needs a bit of a buff in that direction. A bit of a buff in that direction for sure.
What really pushed it over the edge was that they listened, like genuinely listened to the feedback. Developers usually throw half-hearted band-aids on top of core problems and call it a day. Well, Kuro didn't.
Oh, you mean like Genshin and its quick select artifact option? Where you have a decent build on your character, you use the quick select artifact feature, and it proceeds to break your fucking build and just put useless fucking dog shit artifacts on all of your units. Yeah, that's
took the criticism, dug into the systems, and reworked the experience in a way that made people who had already bounced off the game give it another shot. And this time, a lot of them stayed. And with that polished update came attention, not just from the players, but from people you wouldn't expect. There was a point where you realize this game isn't just bouncing around the gacha bubble anymore. It is not just Reddit threads or niche Twitter circles. It is hitting timelines that normally don't even register when a new gacha drops. Nicholas Light reacting to the characters was one of those moments. And sure, he reacts to a lot, but even then, you could tell something about the designs clicked with him. The style, the music, the way these characters are animated. It wasn't.
I think a big part of it is that Wuthering Waves as a whole doesn't necessarily feel like a gacha game in terms of like its gameplay and designs. It feels like more of like a triple A sort of title, like a triple A sort of production. And the end result is that people that are traditionally have played triple A sort of games and feel like, oh, Genshin just feels like a little bit too clunky, too surface level. ZZZ seems like too arcadey, and stuff like that. In HSRs, it's, you know, it's just, it only has like 3 buttons. I think Wuwa going in and then giving you that triple A sort of feel is what allows the traditional gamers, right, who never typically dip their toes into gacha to actually transition and move over to it. And the ironic thing is that these are customers, these are consumers and players that would have never even like played games like Genshin or ZZZ in the first place. So it's almost like they're tapping into a market that other gachas have never really been able to even approach before. That's just my take though. But clearly, the fact that there are so many people that don't even do gachas or like them that are experiencing and enjoying Wuthering Waves is kind of the difference here.
Wasn't just another waifu showcase, it had weight, and he picked up on that instantly. And then you got Asmongold. I don't even know if the guy actually plays gacha games often, but he booted up Wuthering Waves off stream.
He has played HSR. I don't know if he still plays it.
No content farm, no sponsorship, just genuine interest.
A lot of people are kind of surprised that I played the game, but yeah, I 100%ed every zone. I beat every hologram at 6. I did all of the different completionism stuff. I played the out of Wuthering Waves.
Asmon has better stats than like half the people here.
Even played the beta for it.
And that kind of curiosity doesn't happen unless something in the game broke through the usual noise. Mudahar downloaded it on a whim. That is the guy who mostly covers tech, trending topics, and internet mysteries. Wuthering Waves is not his usual lane, but it landed on his radar anyway, and he didn't shrug it off. These aren't people you can buy with a press release. They are not beholden to the gacha scene at all, which is exactly why their interest matters more than most. Because when names like that start dipping into your game organically, it means the title is doing something right. It is compelling on its own, even to people who normally wouldn't care. And it didn't stop at creators. The industry itself started to take notice. That shift from creator buzz to industry validation came faster than anyone expected. Out of absolutely nowhere, you got Jeff Keley, basically the closest thing gaming has to a red carpet host, showcasing Kartithia gameplay. And not just some 10-second blip in a montage either. It's got focus, full screen. That kind of platform isn't handed out lightly, especially to gacha games.
And I think that just kind of like lends credence to how much more investment and how much more weight Kuro, I think, puts into the global side of their operations. A lot of people, even like people that have like seen Hoyo for a long time, feel like Hoyo just does not give a fuck about any region other than like CN and maybe some of the Asian ones, right? Maybe like JP, maybe JP and CN is like the only places Hoyo really cares about. It feels like they don't give a flying fuck about global. On the other hand, it feels like Kuro really, really cares about global and like building up these partnerships and building up the branding overall.
Mobile live service games, which often get quietly pushed to the side in events like these. But we also have to talk about the nomination, the Game Awards 2024. Wuthering Waves sitting in a lineup that usually reads like a list of who spent the most on marketing, and it is just there, part of the conversation, not as an underdog punchline, but as an actual contender. The Steam release played a big part in that too, not just because it gave the game reach, but because the reviews were actually good, like overwhelmingly positive kind of good. And when a game gets that kind of reception on Steam, a platform notorious for players who will rip you apart for the smallest thing, you know something has shifted. And suddenly, Wuthering Waves isn't just a strong gacha game, it is standing next to AAA titles, being judged by the same standards. And somehow it is holding its ground. That leads us to the next big milestone, the one that might define Wuthering Waves' global breakout. So now we have got Kuro Games listed as an official partner for Summer Game Fest 2025.
True. This is a big one for sure. And I guess one company you don't see on here is well, like I said, Hoyo doesn't give a flying fuck about global, so.
And if you're not familiar with how SGF works, think of it like E3's cooler, less corporate cousin that didn't get shut down. Jeff Keley's brainchild, a showcase where publishers like PlayStation, Capcom, and Xbox line up their best reveals in one neatly packaged livestream buffet. And this year, Kuro's name is right there next to them. That alone is a statement. That is a studio that
maybe Hoyo's on round 2? Sure.
2 years ago was mostly known for punishing Gray Raven, a game that barely got any recognition outside of Asia. Now,
and guess what? Remember how I was talking shit about ZZZ's community and how it stops people from playing this game? Yeah, PGR has the exact same issue. Yeah, PGR has the exact same issue when it comes to its community. So many elitist weirdos that turn off so many people from playing the game and in turn prevent the growth of it dramatically. Why do you think PGR averages 16 viewers on Twitch? It's pretty simple, because people don't want to play the game on stream because the people that join their chat and start typing are incredibly fucking annoying whenever they do that. Genuinely. And the DMC collab is something I worry about a lot for this game because it's clearly something that a lot of like casual players, people that haven't played it before, are going to want to go ahead and experience. And the community is going to be the biggest fucking barrier for people to come in and actually enjoy and pick up the game. Yeah, there's a very loud minority that gatekeep the game. Very, very, very loud minority. The community for this game has some really, really big problems. And there's a reason why it averages, like I said, 15 to 30 fucking viewers on Twitch. Because people stream the game once, they interact with the freaks that come into their chat, and they're like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that anymore. And it's happened multiple times for ZZZ streamers as well. Or sorry, people that were trying to be ZZZ streamers.
Now they're sharing billing with the biggest names in gaming. That is not just a nice win for the mobile devs, that is a turning point. It also says a lot that Keley is still backing them. He's not exactly known for featuring gacha. Yes, Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero got some airtime in past SGFs, but let's be honest, that was always because of Hoyo versus global reach. Kuro getting the spotlight is different. They don't have that same legacy clout. They earned this from scratch. And yeah, this might be the year gacha games stop being treated like a guilty pleasure in the West. If Wuthering Waves can hold the stage at Summer Game Fest and actually impress, it might just prove the genre deserves a seat at the big boy table. But it is not just about prestige, it is also about opportunity. Summer Game Fest is,
well, the game has to be good first.
Isn't just a flex, it is a launch pad. And for Kuro, this is the best stage they are ever going to get to set the tone for what comes next. The safe bet, a teaser for the Wuthering Waves X Cyberpunk Edge Runners collab. That crossover has been hinted so many times. It's basically an open secret, and stylistically it fits. Both are gritty, both are stylish as hell, and both kind of thrive in that beautiful chaos aesthetic. SGF would be the perfect time to drop that first trailer. There's also been a lot of talk about punishing Gray Raven, specifically about the Devil May Cry collab. If they announce a global sync with the CN content and slap Dante on the screen, that would—
well, they already have a global sync with the CN content. Wait, slow down, Glaive. It's already happening because they're running like 3 patches in PGR at once. So yeah, the sync is already occurring.
Be a headline moment, not just for PGR, but for the whole catalog. And then there's always the—
too early for the Edge Runners trailer. A lot of people are speculating that the Edge Runners collab is going to happen with 3.0, which should occur in January of next year. So that would be literally about 6 months from now, which is not that crazy to launch a trailer for.
Wild card. The, oh, by the way, here's a new IP moment. It is rare, but Kuro has been growing fast, and they have been hiring. They have been filing trademarks. If they do have something brand new brewing, SGF would be the perfect time to plant that seed.
Imagine Wuthering Honkai Star Rail. Actually, imagine Honkai Star Rail without dog shit story and dog shit power creep. Brother. Oh man, I feel like Kuro announcing that and then like having a beta test or something for it early, or you know, within like the next year would be so insane, because HSR has burned so many bridges with gacha players in how they fucking absolutely destroyed any bit of reputation the game has fucking had. That game is so disgusting, bro.
Publicly, this showcase could be Kuro Games staking their claim, not just as the Wuthering Waves devs, but as a long-term player in the global market. So what does all of this actually mean for the game, for Kuro Games, and for us, the players? Wuthering Waves didn't just break the odds, it rewrote the script. In an industry where most gacha games either quietly fizzle out or cling into relevance with collabs and gacha whales, this one actually—
Fate Stay Night, yeah, the whole Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collab, bro, is it's a desperate cry for help, man.
evolved. It found its identity. It got better with time. And
they're just looking for the FGO whales to come play the game. That's what I think about it right now. They're just looking for the fucking FGO whales who for some reason are still spending tens of thousands of dollars on FGO in 2025, and they want them to spend money on HSR.
And more importantly, people noticed. Not just gacha fans, gamers period. Kuro Games went from those punishing Grey Raven devs to a studio that can hold its own next to Capcom and Xbox. That is the kind of pivot that doesn't happen by accident. It happens when the work speaks louder than the marketing. And Wuthering Waves somehow kept speaking louder with each patch, each update, each appearance on a bigger stage. But here's the real takeaway. This wasn't a lightning in a bottle moment. This was a proof of concept that with the right gameplay, the right evolution, and the right organic momentum, even a gacha game can earn mainstream respect without selling its soul. And now the pressure is on, because attention is a double-edged sword. It got them this far, but from here on out, it is all about execution. The next patch, the next collab, the next stage appearance, all eyes are on them now. And
Well, clearly, having all the eyes on you isn't enough to motivate some devs to actually do a good fucking job. Genshin's had all the eyes on it for about 4 or 5 years, and low-key, all they've done is kind of just, they brought it back for Fontaine, but they kind of just fucked it up in a lot of other ways instead. So, I mean, it's just, hey, we'll just have to see, but I wouldn't call the whole attention thing as like some sort of motivator to actually do well in this industry, because HSR is the biggest turn-based game, and all they're doing is fucking it up too.
The bar is higher than ever. But if the past year was anything to go by, they just might be ready for it. But that is
true. All right, awesome video by Glaive. I'm glad that he went ahead and he mentioned the whole like Summer Games Fest thing. It's pretty clear and it's pretty true that this game is reaching heights that it probably potentially had never dreamed of before, especially considering the rocky launch that it had in the past. But I think that it's been able to sort of propel and move past this whole like Genshin killer label, which is where I believe a lot of its original popularity came from, and has fully developed in its own sense and has built up a reputation that's incredible when you factor in that it's only been a year, roughly a bit over a year, from when it's released. And the increasing quality of the patches, the amazing design of the characters and the story and all of that moving forward has done nothing, right, except just keep people even more motivated for every single update that's coming in the future. And with a big content update happening every 6 months, you gotta have Hoyo players wondering why they only get 1 region update a year when Wuwa's getting 2. Why is Hoyo lacking, doing so little when they're making more money? When they have a worse monetization system that's more predatory, when they have more power creep, why aren't they doing as much, and why isn't it as good? And I think that's the prevailing thought that we're going to have, because I think 2.4 has dispelled any sort of idea that there's going to be any comeback at all for Hoyo Games. I think Wuthering Waves is going to stay comfortably in first place, and there's not really too much to worry about from that degree. So yeah, let me know what you all think. Peace.
That's all right. I mean, like, I'm not sure if I'd really go back and play this shit again. Like, I've thought about it myself, but it's like, why would I play this game if I could just play Wuthering Waves? Really, like, I don't know. Wuthering Waves 2.4 trailer? Let me see. I'll see what this one is. Okay, so this is the trailer right here. We'll compare it. Oh, it's not a new boss. Look, maybe it's just me, but like, I mean, this totally fucking clears Sinless on Zero by a mile. I'm sorry, it totally fucking clears it.